The Jordan School District is now combating suicides after 7 students took their own lives in one school year. What they're doing to help, straight ahead. A 45-year-old man living in this home who worked as a primary teacher in Sunday school is now accused of sexually abusing a young girl. What his neighbors say about this man, straight ahead. Utah woman says she is lucky to be alive as investigators dig for bodies right behind her childhood home. Coming up, see how she's connected to the notorious murders in Michigan. After a fire tore apart this apartment complex, the American Red Cross encourages all Utahns to be prepared. See what simple steps could save your life, straight ahead.
News 4 Utah's Jen Jacobson is live at the scene with what we know. Jen?
Yeah, that's right, Don. Police tell me they arrested a 35-year-old man living in this home. They say he pushed his 80-year-old grandfather, which caused him to pass away. Now, police say it happened this morning after the two got into an argument and it became physical. The grandfather was taken to the hospital where he passed away. Police identified the grandson as Jason Northrup. Jason has since been charged with felony murder. We'll have more on this developing story coming up on ABC4, including an interview with the suspect's uncle and an interview with a spokesperson from the West Valley City Police Department. For now, I'm reporting live in West Valley City, Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah. Yeah, that's right, Down. No one was home at the time, and luckily no one was injured in the fire. Sandy firefighters arrived on scene, and they put out the fire within 20 minutes. Now, as you can see, a significant portion of the home is damaged. The house on your left here also caught fire. 2 families will be without a home tonight. The Red Cross is helping the 6 people affected, giving them a place to stay while they get back up on their feet. We'd like to thank Bobby Bateman for sharing footage of the home completely engulfed in flames. The family's 3 pets were inside at the time of the fire. I am standing about 25 feet away from Phillips Plaza, a public housing unit in Salt Lake City. Now, starting July 31st, tenants won't be allowed to smoke beyond this point. Yeah, Kim, this time tomorrow night, this parking lot will be completely full. Organizers are expecting more than 40,000 people to be here tomorrow night, and they are hoping to raise $1 million to support both local and national LGBTQ communities. Now, police have also not released the identities of the victims. They say they first need to tell the families, and we will be sure to update you on air and online as soon as we get more information on this story at good4utah.com. For now, I'm reporting live in West Valley City, Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah.
Jen.
Yeah, that's right, Don. Now, this event just wrapped up. As you can see behind me, hundreds of people came out here to celebrate organ donations. They celebrated with a concert, with festivities, food, and even an athlete parade. But it is not over. Today marks the start of a 6-day series of celebrations. Now, the people I spoke to tonight, the organ donors and recipients, say life has become all the more meaningful to them thanks to modern medicine. Yeah, Nick, this is such a tragic story. A lot of people are touched by his loss. Battalion Chief Burchett reportedly died after a tree fell on top of him. Now, I spoke to his former colleague who says Matt was a really good guy, and he's just devastated to hear that he lost his dear friend.
Now, News 4 Utah's Jen Jacobson and Nick McGurk are still out there monitoring the fire. We begin tonight with Jen. So, Jen, how are the conditions right now?
Yeah, Kim, so I'm standing on the west side of the foothills of Ensign Peak, just about a half a mile away from the state capitol. Now, this is where the majority of the fire spread. If you take a look off to my left here, you will see that there are acres of blackened and burnt grass. This is just a portion of the estimated 100 acres that was covered in flames earlier today. Fortunately, this fire is now 90% contained, according to the Salt Lake City Fire Department, but it took about 50 to 60 firefighters and flight crews to put it out. Now, crews have actually battled a fire in this same area less than a month ago, and they say that this is a high-risk area, particularly pointing out to the right factors combining up to a high-risk area. This is one of the examples. If you take a look at these, this is yellow, dry grass that is all spread across these foothills at Ensign Peak. This is definitely a bad combination when it comes to our dry and windy and hot conditions that we've been seeing and feeling outside in Utah. So this serves as a reminder, this incident today, just to be extra careful and make sure we're abiding by laws. Again, there is no word or confirmation that the fireworks are actually to blame for this. We are still waiting for that result from officials, and we will be sure to share it with you on air and online as soon as we know what exactly causes fire. For now, I'm reporting live in Salt Lake City, Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah. The district is investing $1 million into training its staff. Teachers are learning intervention tactics and types of red flags to watch out for. You can still see the smoke coming from the debris even hours after firefighters have fully contained the area. That's why they keep a close eye on it just in case the wind picks up and fire starts again.
Next time you go hiking, keep in mind just 6 inches of moving water can knock over and carry away an adult in just a matter of moments.
Crystal says she saw the gun in the women's bathroom just outside a children's play center called Toogies Island. Right now, there are 1,000 of these rideshare scooters in Salt Lake, but city leaders say they're just testing them out.
We're hearing a lot of complaints.
As you can see, these containers have not been cleaned out properly. Courtney believes this device saved their lives. Through the touch of a button, she sprayed out red pepper spray and sent out an alert to her family and friends. Heather says she feels lucky to be alive. She could have been the one missing in the woods all of these years.
Farmington firefighters tell me they work about 56 hours a week, which amounts to more than 2 days straight and 4 days off.
Dr. Minch says a healthy lung should look like this, but for someone living in the Wasatch Front, their lung is more likely to look like this. Bray's campaign to delete Snapchat on June 1st is getting a lot of attention on social media right now. Take a look at this. This school year, the district installed new security cameras at the entrances of each elementary and middle school. Visitors ring this doorbell with a camera attached, alerting office staff.
New developments to pass on tonight. After spending 6 months in a church sanctuary, a woman from Honduras has denied her appeal to reopen her asylum case here in Utah. News for Utah's Jen Jacobson shares how the mother of two still plans to fight this decision and what could happen if she's denied once again.
A sea of supporters standing by Vicky Chavez, hoping one day she'll be free.
Our nation's immigration system is broken, and our elected officials have refused to fix it. Nevertheless, we were and we are committed to take Vicky's side in fair weather or foul, no matter what.
Friends and family say Chavez has a strong case, and that's why she plans to appeal it to the 10th District Court of Appeals.
They were fleeing domestic violence in Honduras. She came seeking refuge and safety and hope that she couldn't find in that country because the government was unable to protect her.
An immigration judge will decide if Chavez does in fact face prosecution in her native country. Chavez says appealing is the safest decision for her family.
I will continue to fight for my case, and it's important to know that there are other people like me that deserve to be here.
She says she's received death threats from the father of her oldest daughter and wants a better life for her children.
Vicky's little baby, who is about to celebrate her first birthday, has spent half her life in sanctuary.
Vicky now calls America her home. Her parents are U.S. citizens and live here in Utah. She could gain citizenship through them, but that's a 10-year process, and that's not even guaranteed. Chavez says she's not just fighting for her family. She's also fighting for others who are trying to escape domestic abuse.
Now I feel so calm, and I have hope and faith in God that everything will be good.
In Salt Lake City, Jen Jacobson.
Families belong together. Vicky's family belongs together.
News 4 Utah.
We are learning more about a man who police say killed his grandfather today. West Valley Police identified him as Jason Northrup. Police say it happened in a home in West Valley City near 3000 West, 2900 South. News 4 Utah's Jen Jacobson spoke to police and the suspect's uncle, who says he actually saw this coming.
Jason come from right here this direction because it was the only place open. Come and shoved him, and he tripped over this board right here and came out.
The suspect's uncle says this is where 35-year-old Jason Northrup killed 80-year-old Cheryl Northrup.
My dad was totally caught off guard like I was when he pushed me.
A spokesperson for the West Valley City Police Department says an argument between the two became physical.
The grandfather fell on the ground, hit his head, causing a pretty good head injury. He was taken to the hospital by paramedics, where he later died.
West Valley City Police tell me multiple people were on the property when it happened. The uncle of the suspect says it happened in the shed behind the house.
He catches his foot on this thing and flips backwards into probably the concrete that was laying there.
Northrup says his father was upset about this mess his nephew made.
After being around him, the kid is no good.
Jason Northrup is now in jail charged with felony 1 murder. His uncle says he saw this coming.
You don't take on a 80-year-old man and knock him down and expect nothing to happen.
Northrup says Cheryl was a good man.
My dad, he was overly generous. If you're down on your luck, he's going to help you.
He wants to see his nephew spend the rest of his life in prison. In West Valley City, Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah. Today, the commission reviewed current safety measures across the state, then presented 5 main ways to better secure our schools.
School safety of our children is our primary #1 concern.
Utah lobbyist Terry Shoemaker and Superintendent David Seiler kicked off the roundtable discussion highlighting 5 ways to improve school safety.
This is obviously not an all-inclusive list, but just some of the things that are going on in our district.
The list includes prevention measures, working closely with local law enforcement, using new technology, emergency training and protocols, and controlled access.
What about all the exits? You mean kids can't all leave through one entrance?
While some are concerned about single entrances, others say mental health should be the main concern.
If a student started to get in trouble, that there was quick and reliable access to a mental health team, where that would include a trained mental health person who could accurately assess if the risk was imminent or high or middle or low.
But some say leaders should resist a one-size-fits-all plan and not forget that schools should still be a welcoming place.
Our students are there over 6 hours a day. The teachers are there 8 to 9 to 10 hours a day. We want schools to be welcoming places to be.
Lawmakers hope state leaders will continue to bring helpful ideas to the table before they discuss this issue again this fall. Reporting in Salt Lake City, I'm Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah.
You know, prices may soon go up across Salt Lake County unless more Utahns start recycling properly. News 4 Utah's Jen Jacobson explains why and how China is influencing the costs.
Recycling is at risk.
That is not recyclable. Does not go in there.
Waste managers say Utahns are putting too many items in the recycling bins that don't belong, causing major economic and environmental problems.
So right now we are paying more as a district to have recycling processed than if it were to go into the landfill.
Robert says recycling could soon cost companies as much as $900 grand a year, but sending it all to landfills is not the answer.
If we service 83,000 homes in the district, so if we were to spread the cost of about $900,000, if we were to break that out per home, that's 75 cents.
Utahns won't see a price hike this year, but soon could if recycling is not done right.
You wouldn't think that this water would do so much damage, but imagine that sitting for an hour on this cardboard in a truck, and you can start to see that it's seeping in.
Roberts tells me some Utahns don't realize they are contaminating the recycling stream when they don't fully clean out leftover food. As you can see, these containers have not been cleaned out properly.
Just take the extra time when you recycle. Try to recycle the best quality material, like it says on top of the lid. Every can has a lid and it has what items we could recycle.
China is also no longer accepting such sloppy waste, which adds to this cost.
China is basically saying keep it clean. You know, you've been sending over contaminated waste, we can't take that anymore. Stop, you know, we're not your landfill basically.
Robert says when in doubt, throw it out, but remember the importance of recycling right. In Salt Lake City, Jen Jacobson, News 4 Utah.